Hi, I'm Steve Adler, Education Solutions Engineer at Adobe Systems, and welcome to Acrobat for Education Tips and Tricks. All right, let's talk about some productivity when it comes to highlighting and using our tools in Acrobat. So you'll see here we have a document open in Acrobat 10 Professional, and right off the bat you have the fit to page view here, you have the continuous view here, and you can magnify and reduce size here as well. These two are very nice because it brings you right back to where you are or where you need to be. Now, when you are getting ready to look at a document and scroll through it, for example, here it's a little tight to read, so I'll just use my continuous view, and we see it's a lot easier to read this. Now, another thing I want to talk about is how can you be more productive when you're reading documents and you need to take notes and perhaps use the traditional highlight metaphor. Well, we're going to look at the comment panel over here on the right. I click on that, and if you look down in the document, you see there are no comments associated with this document. So to the extreme right here we have a little options pull down, and we're going to go to commenting preferences for a minute and take a look at these. Now, in commenting preferences, you have your basic preferences for the font types and some other things that are pretty valuable here. But what I do want to draw your attention to, and this is for your personal productivity, you can turn on copy selected text into highlights, cross out, and underline. What this is going to do is allow you to actually lift what you highlight into a separate commenting layer. So make sure that's checked. We'll click OK. And now let's see what happens as we move through the document. You'll also notice up here your quick tools. You have the highlighting tool available to you, highlight text, and the pop-up sticky note tool here as well. You'll also see them over here. So they're available to you in a number of different ways if you want to give yourself a little more space. So I click on the highlighting tool here, and I want to just pretend that this is something that's important for me as I'm reading through my content, and I'll highlight that. Now you'll notice in a couple of moments it will show the lifted content in the comment layer. Now you'll notice also that the comment layer, as we float on top of what we've marked up, will appear inside the comment panel. But you'll also see in this particular case that the line breaks are not as you would expect. And here's something you can try. Before we go any further, let's click the Tools menu and let's look at the Accessibility pull down. Now, if you don't see the Accessibility tool right here, or the Accessibility tools, you can go up to the upper right corner and make sure that it's selected right here. We're going to do something called Add Tags to Document. Adding tags to a document gives this a little more functionality for reflow and for using in a variety of situations beyond just accessibility. So I click Add Tags to Document, and Acrobat looks at this for a minute and evaluates the source, and after a few moments you'll see a recognition report. We're not going to go into this. It's not critical for what we're doing in this particular exercise, so we're going to close that. And now we're going to go back and use that same tool here, the highlighting text tool, and highlight this content again and watch the difference. Now when I highlight this, you'll see that that content is now able to flow properly in any different format that we may place it into. So we've pulled those fixed line breaks out of the document. This is going to be useful later on. So let me move through this, keep working in comments, and moving through the document a bit more. This could be important for me. I'll grab this, and again, notice I am not necessarily having to take any notes. One drawback, and you'll see this, is that you can't do this with images. So I could, for example, grab this, and you'll see I'll leave anything that's considered an image, or in this case the text is considered an image in this particular case because of the nature of the equation editor here in the document. So this is something we can come back to in a minute to show you how you could incorporate this. But nevertheless, this is great for text work only. So many of the documents you look at will involve just text reading, and take advantage of that highlight tool to pull this material out. So we look over here now in that comment panel, and we see that we have, in this case, picked up 3 highlights. Now, when you have highlighted this text material, you can pull the panel in the little menu in the upper right side of the panel, and let's look at the comment summary, create comment summary option. We can choose to have comments all by themselves on a new PDF. We can have lines connecting to the actual page information, and we can also have sequence numbers depending on what we're trying to do. Now I'm going to stay with comments only, and I'm going to use kind of a large font size here, and I can set the paper size and sort, but I'm just going to create this and see what happens. It creates a brand new PDF with all that content pulled aside here. Now this, like any other PDF, can then be saved out as a Word document or used. Things can be copied and pasted as you move forward. But let's leave this open and let's go back to that original document that we've been looking at, in this case the research report. It could be that I need to incorporate in my note-taking, I need to incorporate something like this. For example, I need this graph, I need the information that goes along with it. So what I'm going to do here is use something called the snapshot tool. I'm going to take a snapshot in the PDF, and I'm going to highlight what I need to incorporate in my notes. So I'll drag something like that. Now it's been copied to the clipboard. What I'm now going to do is go back to my summary of my comments, and I am going to choose File, Create PDF from Clipboard. And you'll see now that I have pulled the contents of the clipboard as a PDF. Other things to try with the Create menu is to try creating from a selection capture. You have screen capture, window capture, selection capture. You can even work from web pages as well as scanners. But let's look at selection capture because this is kind of cool. You click on this and you simply take what it is you're looking for, drag a box around it, and in one shot you've got yourself a PDF. And as you saw earlier, I can then tile these. Now I've got a few things here, but so I'm going to tile vertically and take advantage of this particular PDF that contains the copied clipboard information. I'll use my Pages tab as we saw before, and I'll just take this and I'll pull it into my summary or my highlighted content for my note-taking. And I could rearrange this and drop this in, and I could then take this and close this and move forward with the content that I have right here. I'll maximize that. And you see now that I'm building a new PDF, just extracting the content that I need from my original PDF, or in that case, a collection of PDF documents. A very cool and easy way to work with Acrobat without having to rekey in one little bit.